So to get to the top, or the front motor mount on this Camry is right there. So we have to remove these plastic cover and this box, air box, out of the way so we can get to the top, and then we're gonna have to lift the car so we can get from underneath and unbolt the 3 nuts that hold the motor mount to the frame. So this is this motor mount that we're replacing right in the front. That's the one, and this is it, the brand new one. And as you can see, there's a bolt, and on the bottom there's 3 nuts that hold it down towards the frame. So we gotta get access through the bottom, and for that we gotta remove the plastics, the dust, and the splash guards on the bottom to get access to remove the nuts. So from the bottom on the driver's side, we have to remove this panel. For that, we have to take these bolts or screws out. There's about 4 or 5 of them, so we gotta remove them, take them off, and then remove this panel so we can have access. So here we have the one nut. There's another one right in there, as we can see barely. There it is. And then there's that one for the motor mount. So there's 3 tie down points on this motor mount on the bottom, and then plus the one on top which goes into the motor. So we're using a 40mm socket, deep socket, to take these with the long ratchet for torque, so we can remove. So we have the motor mount, the new one, and these are the nuts that we just took off from the other one, and we have it upside down right now. So it will be like this. So we have removed the bottom nuts. There's 3 of them, and then now we are gonna remove the top bolt from the old motor mount from the motor to remove this motor mount. So we get the other one out. Right now we got the nuts into this from the old one. Now we have a 70mm bolt down there, and we're gonna use it with extensions to loosen it from out here. As you can see, that's why we say remove the air box, so you have a space here. So we loosen it and take it off. So now what we have to do is we have to lift the motor, which we have removed the bolt off of it. So the motor will be sitting right here. So we have to lift the motor off of it, and then we can pull the motor mount off, and without the nuts, these pins can come off the frame. So we have the motor resting on top of this, and that the motor mount is into the frame. So we have to lift it and take the motor mount off. So now we have lifted the motor from the bottom so we can have the space, and the motor mount with the bolt that was here is off. So now all we have is to remove the motor mount from the bottom, and with that the motor mount has no more weight on the motor. So we just lifted it, we take this guy out, and we put a new one in. That we pulled out has this plate, and this is the old one. It looks good, but the internal, as you can see, has a vibration. It will create vibration. And now this one, this is the new one, is rigid. There's no gap or space that will make a motor shake. So we're gonna put this back in there, and we're gonna use the old nuts and bolts that we had in the old one on the new motor mount. So let's put it back in. So the old motor mount, we took it out through this area right here. This area we work it out through here, and that's where we're gonna feed the new one in through. So we'll feed it through here. Now that we have set the motor mount as the old one was, the new one, we just get the bolt and we thread it a little bit, and that way we can start guiding the nuts in the bottom too. So we start guiding the top as well. Now that we have the bolt in, guiding the motor into the motor mount, what we do is that we're setting the weight into the motor mount, and by using the bolt to guide the motor mount into the motors, that way we don't have to fight it later on when we lower it, and then we don't have the gap or the space. So now we have the motor mount set on the bottom, and then we can guide the engine into the motor mount. Gonna have to do is we're gonna have to go in the bottom, tightening down the nuts into the motor mount to the frame, and then come up here and tighten the motor mount to the frame to the motor, and that should finish our process of replacing this motor mount. We have the studs from the motor mount down here, 1, 2, and then 3 over here, and we just put the 14mm nuts into it, and we should tighten him and then go up there and tighten the bolt. I don't want to tighten up there because then it pulls the motor, maybe the motor mount up. I don't know, but I just want to secure the bottom first, because up there the motor mount already is guided with the motor with that bolt. So we'll just put this on and tighten him. So this is the new motor mount installed. As you can see, there's a 17mm bolt, the 3 nuts, 14mm nuts on the bottom. What we did is we loosened this, we took this out, we loosened the bottom ones, and then we lift the engine. We got a gap between the engine and the motor mount. We work the motor mount out, and we brought it out through this area, and that's how we fed the new one in. And you just gotta guide the motor mount in the bottom, and then you can start bolting it down. So that's an idea of how to do this. Now what is left is just to put the dust cover or the splash guards back on, and we should be done. Folks, this was an idea how to replace a front lower motor mount on a 2007-2012 Toyota Camry, and today we just did one. There's 4 of them. We'll do a video per motor mount, so that way you don't get lost. And like I said, this is an idea of how to replace this motor mount, and hopefully this video was useful, and we'll see you soon with more videos here in the Untitled channel, Jose.